Hey everybody,
Going single file.
it's Steve with Sky 194, and I appreciate you stopping by and taking the time out of your day to visit and check out my video. And we are here at Zolder doing the late race since the early race didn't go so good. So we'll see how this goes. Of course, this is a dry race, so that's a good thing. I'm on pole in the Lamborghini EVO here. I think it was a 129.10 or 20 or something like that. Okay, lap. And it's basically the exact same setup as my race setup. The only thing I did is just put low fuel in it. That's it. Didn't do anything else. So hopefully I made one teeny small little adjustment. So hopefully it'll work. Just there's no pit stop, so the tires got to last the whole time. So that's going to be important to try to take care of them, I hope. I hope I got the pressures right. That's another thing, they weren't really, I was off a little bit in qualifying on my pressures. So just a little bit, a few tenths. So I adjusted for that. I just want to say thank you also to everybody for all the well wishes for myself and my wife. Like I said, I posted a comment that basically she earlier this week she fell in the driveway onto some ice and she fractured her pelvis in 2 places. So again, I'm just kind of going in between, not doing some practice, but pretty much she needs me. She can call me. She can text me on the phone. We're in different rooms, so she can just text me and I can get to her if she needs something. But she's pretty much taken care of, so hopefully she'll be all right. Especially since the late race, she goes to bed.
Stay double file.
So she's nice and tucked away in bed, getting ready to go to sleep. So figure it's a good time to try to get a race in. So hopefully we can get through this turn 1 without getting hit, or turn 2. Hopefully. See how it goes.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Good start. Not in race shape, so hopefully I can keep a good pace for 45 minutes. It's going to be a race between a Lamborghini and Ferrari.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Fastest lap of the race, man. Good job.
Yeah, I was in the AMG in the first race. If you didn't, I'm not sure. Probably post the video. I'm not. It's not done yet. I haven't had time to go through and practice and work on the setup anymore like I usually do at the end. So still got to do that if I decide to finish that. But it was terrible start, terrible, just awful on my part, all on me. One reason I like to post it, the race wasn't too bad later on, but
fastest lap of the race, man. Good job. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Main thing is it's got a really good wet and dry setup, I think, for the AMG. Didn't do good there. Didn't do so hot in that turn. Got a very conservative setup on the Lamborghini. Something I'm hoping it'll see how it does later on. I had the wear on the tires was really good in practice, so I'm hoping it'll be the same. Terrible. Gotta do better than that. hanging in there in the Ferrari. Not there.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
You must have made a mistake in the chicane back there. Nice to have a good finish. I could really use it.
The fastest lap so far. Feels really good so far. Fastest lap of the race. Great job, man.
Before my wife slipped and fell on some ice, we went and test drove a new M4. M4 competition. She liked it. I mean, I liked it. It was really nice. Didn't have the competition seats in it, but you know, other than that, it was pretty loaded out. But it was still really nice, comfortable, really good power, man. That thing, I tell you, wow. Thing. It was just a two-wheel drive. It wasn't the X drive, so it wasn't all-wheel drive. It was just two-wheel drive, but man. I think it's under-tired. Because, I mean, you could pretty much, especially in the low gears, you could spin the tires pretty easy. And once it gets rolling, it's got some great torque. Really impressed with that 6-cylinder that's in there, that twin turbo 6. It really is good. Didn't go on a really long test drive, so I would have liked to gone longer and drove it more, but we didn't drive it. We were with the salesman. But it feels like a smaller car. It doesn't feel like a big car or anything. So it's just it really fit my wife and I really good. My wife likes smaller cars. She doesn't like really big cars. But yeah, if you have a chance to test drive one or go for a ride in one, I would do it. You should like it. Very balanced feeling car. I mean, it feels very balanced and lots of power and it weighs like 3,800 pounds. It really doesn't feel like it. I mean, it doesn't feel like a real heavy car or anything. Of course, in today's day and age, it really isn't to me. For a street car, 3,800 pounds isn't that bad because I mean, you got so many cars out there now that are way over 4,000 pounds. So. Heck, even like the C7 Corvette I used to own. I mean, it like 3,600 pounds. That's a 2-seater. A little bit of time on them. Even better though, that's too slow. I'm slow through here without that cone. Better on my Delta. That's not. It's closer. A lot better. Sometimes I slow down too much. Trying to take care of my tires, so funny. Last race, I don't think there was a single Lamborghini or Ferrari. There was maybe one, but I don't remember any. Now there's like three Lamborghinis, I think, and a couple Ferraris or something. It's funny how that works. Yeah, I miss racing. I've been missing racing, and of course my wife and I are both not working now for right now, and that's not good. So I've been out, and of course she's out probably for a month, because she's, that's going to take probably a month, at least a month, before she can get on her, standing on her feet. So, just have to deal with it. Hopefully she can heal, no problems. So be careful on ice, please. And I've slipped down and fell down and things like that, but especially for a woman, I mean, my wife's small. She's not, not a real big person. She's pretty little. So, but, get older, your bones aren't as strong and things like that. So, please, everybody be careful on this winter and ice. Car feels really good so far. I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty neutral. I mean, you can induce slide if you need to or want to. Mess that up. One thing I liked about it is the rear tires were wearing a little faster than the fronts. So I'm hoping as the tires wear, the front tires near the end of the last part of the stint will actually catch closer back up, so it's not that big a difference. So the car should hopefully stay neutral the whole time, maybe lose grip, but
slow car ahead.
Won't go into any kind of major understeer, oversteer type of thing. That's what I'm hoping. That's what we'll find out.
There's a slow car ahead.
I'm dog slow through here without the cone. I can really judge it better with the cone for some reason, but the cone's not there. I'm afraid I'm going to get out of bounds all the time. So then I'm too conservative. Wish they'd have like one of those pylons there that you can run over, but wouldn't get, you know, moved. So you can see where the out of bounds is.
We are at the halfway mark, still a way to go.
Lap together. Halfway through the race, not too bad. Yep, halfway through, and I'm only about a tenth and a half off. Exactly what I was aiming for. Something maybe not as fast, but consistent. Whoop. I hate doing that because I'm afraid I'm going to lose pressure on my tires. So what I'm trying not to do is be hard on my tires and hit unnecessary things. Terrible lap here. Driver error. So great over the bumps. It does okay, but hopefully I can find time to try to get some low fuel motorsports races in. Hopefully. I haven't done any this week. let off a little earlier. Ferrari's crawled back about a second. Had it out to 9.5. Now he's got it down to under 8.5. So he's coming back some. As I'm falling off here. Need to do a better job. Gotta try to attack a little bit again. I mean, I don't want to be too overly aggressive, but can't be complacent either. Catching up to some other Lamborghinis. I've listened to this thing all day. Tires have dropped a little bit, but they're still okay. Better. Still feels okay. Dang it, missed the shift. Smoke screen. That left front's going up in pressure, so it's probably starting to understeer just a little bit more. Which she keeps, like I said, it's not terrible because it keeps the wear even on the front and the rear. I just gotta throw a little brake bias in it. That'd probably help it. Put a little bit more brake bias in it, help it stop. See how it works. Don't really need to, but I mean, just wanted to. I think it'll help. That's definitely helping. Feels a little better. Or just lapping another. Too deep. Way too deep. course, I'm going to do the same at the end of the race. You know, I'll go back and look over the data, see if there's anything I think I can improve upon. And then, you know, we go over the setup.
Right, mate, this is your last lap and you're the leader. Keep it together.
Have a halfway decent lap here. I hope. Plenty of fuel. Thank you, Joe Blow.
Excellent job, mate.
All right.
What a race. Well done. Well managed. Bring it back home.
Not bad for the last lap. Little mistakes here and there, but still not real bad. First got my K-Pack livery. I love it. One of my favorite liveries. So, again, I'll go over and check the setup and the wear and things like that. And, of course, I'll come back and we'll meet here again and we'll see if there's any improvements can be made. All right, we're back, and I decided to work on a rain setup for the Huracan also. Please let me know if that's okay with you guys, if you're interested in those or not, because it does take a little extra time. But it kind of gives you, I'm trying to give you, that way you have a good base setup for dry and then a good base setup for the rain. So I just, please let me know how you like it and what kind of conditions you prefer. I try to duplicate light rain to medium rain in those conditions, and the temperatures between 15 and 20, because that's usually the most of the time is what it is in ACC. So, but please, any comment or feedback would be really appreciative. So you like it or don't like it. But anyway, let's just make a lap. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. We'll make a lap. I did test this in the medium rain too, and it was, you know, very well balanced there also. And we're going to go over some of the things in the setup part of it. This is the light rain one. I have 70. I started with 70 liters, so again, I should be close to being around, right around to do a 45-minute race. Goes over those really well. Again, you know, I'm trying to look for balance as far as its survivability and raceability type thing. as you can see, I mean, it looks pretty stable to me for rain conditions, and it really was about the same even in the medium rain, so which had a lot more water on the ground. It was still, I mean, it was it was slower obviously, but it was still a lot better. It still was pretty close to the same as far as it wasn't sliding all over the place and things like that. So let's go over the wet setup, and I got again. There is very hard to duplicate rain conditions in a particular, to exact, because that's one thing with ACC. Rain is so dramatically changes everything. I mean, between temperatures, conditions of the track, whether it's got, flooded, this, that. There's so many. It just throws a whole bunch of variables. So you have to be able to adjust a lot of things on the fly, and that's why I was trying to get something that's basically a base setup. So again, I started off with 27.5 left side, 28 right side for the tires. The toe is a negative 0.15 with the camber at negative 3.5 on the left front and negative 3.4 on the right front, and the caster at 9.6. The toe on the rear is 0.1 with the camber at negative 3.1 on the left rear and negative 3 on the right rear. That, other than tire pressures, no matter how much rain you have, that should be pretty good. I don't see, I mean, you can take maybe a teeny bit more negative camber out, 1 or 2 clicks, if it's flooded. But other than a flooded condition, I would pretty much leave it all the same. Other than tire pressures. Tire pressures definitely going to vary up and down. Electronics, I have 6, 10, and 5. And really, if it's any wetter, I would probably start off with 7 and then go down to 6 once the tires get up to temperature. So I can put that there now. I'll just put it at 7. But just keep in mind that this is meant to probably come down after the first couple laps. Otherwise, you'll be on the limiter a lot, and it'll be hurting a lot of your performance. Again, the rest of these are fine. Fuel, of course, I had 70 liters with the number 3 brake pad. You can go with the number 2s, like in light rain conditions, because that is good. Is good for some rain, which maybe help a little bit in the braking performance. But if you know it's going to be wet, and wet, I would go with the number 3s, especially heavy rain. Mechanical, got 3 on the anti-roll bar, 51 on the brake bias. Steering ratio is turned all the way down. Springs on the front are 167,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 15. And on the rear, the springs are 154,000 with a bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 36. Anti-roll bar is 2, and the preload on the diff is 100. And that's to get the thing to hook up. I tried a lot less. I tried less diff, all the way from 60 up, gradually going up, and 100 seems better by far. Springs are the same. Went down a little bit lower in spring rates compared to a dry, which we'll go over here in just a little bit. But again, it's to go get some grip and to go over the bumps and sausages in case you run over those a little bit more. It can handle it. Shocks in the front, I have 10, 2, 10, 3, and on the rear they're 8, 2, 9, 3. Aero, I have 62 in the front, 64 in the rear with an 11 rear wing and a 3 and a 3 in the brake ducts. Now, this should be good for almost all conditions, even flooded. I tried to get it to where the balance is pretty good for even if the rain is anywhere from light to heavy. So I would think this is pretty good. I got it raised up a pretty good amount. But I wanted to get the balance correct. So going through the fast right-hander and the other corners, that the balance felt correct, and this feels pretty good. The brake ducts. Now this is something that's pretty critical. If it's heavy rain, you might have to go down to 2. So if you see the temperature is at 19 and I was at 17 also, but if the more rain you have, the harder it is to get temperature in the tires, brakes, things like that. So just keep in mind with those temperatures, I'm keeping it between 17, 19. I try to keep it right around there. But somewhere around there, you can go with 3 or maybe even 4 if it's a little hotter or it's going to get hotter. But if it's cooler at nighttime and things like that, and mainly rain, see, that's the big difference. It's not just temperature, it's how much rain you have. So if you have a lot of rain that's coming down, then you basically need to probably go down in the brake ducts to keep some temp in your brakes and to keep your tire temps up. So again, just keep that in mind. I wish ACC in the pit menu would allow you to adjust your brake ducts. Because those kind of go hand in hand with the tires. So I kind of wish they would do that. Maybe it's a suggestion. Even if it took an extra few seconds, because they can do that in the pits. They can put, some of the tape covering the ducts just to cover them up or to open them up more. So I kind of wish that they would allow you to do that. It would really help in the tuning ability, especially in longer races when weather changes more dramatically. That would be really nice. So again, I'll make this a setup, and the link will be in the description, just like the dry. So now let's go ahead and reset and check out the dry. Alrighty, and we're back. And again, I did a few little adjustments, and I think it's a decent gain over what I had during the race. And I think it really helped a little bit under the performance, but did not lose any of the drivability. And that's what I like, because I don't want to make it so razor edge that one, you can't be consistent, and two, a lot of people are not even able to drive it. So I want to be able to not to be able to. I don't want it like that. So basically, I think it's a good improvement. So we'll make a lap here, and then we'll go over the setup, some of the things I changed. A lot of little adjustments. Nothing major, but a lot of little ones. So, that just adds up. And you can see, and also I'm going to explain it. You can see I got a little less fuel because I did it both ways this time. What I did is I ran it, tested it with 85 liters like I did in the race, and then went in and put the fuel, basically, how you do it at the end where you can test your, how your ride height changes as the fuel load comes down. That's the way I did it. So that way it's kind of like, basically I'm simulating a pit stop. So let's say you do a pit stop about halfway and you got new tires. Of course, the balance changes a teeny bit. I didn't want it to mess the car up. So basically I'm just testing it that way with like a half a tank of fuel, like you do in a pit stop race. So that's what this is here. And the car still felt really good. It didn't change that much. It just changed a teeny bit, but I just wanted to double check and make sure that it didn't upset the balance of the car. And I did not even adjust up any of the brake bias. The brake bias is left alone, so I think I'm going to go over, there's definitely more here. I messed this up right here. I didn't go through here as good as I can, and definitely the second sector, which we can go over. So there's definitely more on the table. That was my fast lap at a 1:29.20. And again, there's definitely more in it for sure. And we'll go over that. So let's go back to the garage. And I'm going to show you the timetables. So here we go with this. Basically, you can see that even on my fast lap there, the 29.20, that only had one fast sector. So this one I actually even had a faster sector, and that's with the 85 liters up here. So that's actually even with more fuel, and I had just a teeny bit faster than when I had lower fuel. And my fastest sector was in the last lap, but you can see I'm running 29.20, 29.30, 29.30. So it's very consistent, staying right there. So I like that, and I think it could go quicker. Obviously, if the weather conditions are better, you can see that it's 25 degrees. So, if it was, 20 or in the teens at nighttime, or you could pick up even more other than that. So it's definitely got some 28s in it there. I was, in my Delta, I had some 29 10s and O's and things like that, but I would just, not hit that one section right or something and lose a tenth or a few hundredths, and I couldn't put it together, but it's there. And that's with the lower fuel. I ran a 129.53 with 80 liters, or it was like 70 something or whatever, but and it was, even in my Delta there, I had some 29.30s. So again, there's 2 or 3 more tenths in this, easy. Very solid. So let's go over to setup. I got 25.4 left front, 25.6 left rear, 26.4 right front, and 26.3 right rear. The toe's negative 0.1 with the camber at negative 3.7 on the left front, negative 3.6 on the right front, with the caster at 10.4. On the rear, the toe is 0.05 with the camber at negative 3.3 on the left rear and negative 3.2 on the right rear. And then that's another thing I'll show some of the tire wear. It's really good. 3, 3, and 1 for the electronics. Of course, fuel, you can see I had 85 liters. And there is the wear on the last tires that I had in like 4 or 5 laps. And you can see it's really close, and I really like that. That really makes me feel good, so that's good for longer runs. Any roll bar's 5. Brake bias is 54 with the steering ratio all the way down. And again, that's the way it was in the race. You can go down to 53, should be no problem at all. If its tires start to wear a little bit and you need it to rotate a little more. Springs on the front are 190,000 with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 12. And on the rear, the springs are 164,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 35. Any roll bar is 4 and the preload on the diff is 60. Now, a lot of these things have changed. Let's see, the bump stop rate and range are both all different. I changed those. I increased the rate just a teeny bit, but also gave a little bit more on the range, so it doesn't hit the bump stops too much. So going over the bumps, it goes over them just a little bit better. So that is what I changed there. Here, I added the diff was 50, and I went to 60, and I really think it helps on some of them slow corners where it just goes. You don't have a little bit of spin or anything like that. The TC doesn't come in. So again, I think that's again just a teeny adjustment there, just one click, but I like it better. I like the feel of it better. Other than that, I think the springs were all the same. I think the anti-roll bar, I went down 1 on both. I think they were up 1 on both of those, but I went down 1 to get the car just to be able to rotate a little, not rotate, but move, like going over the bumps and things, so it wasn't so stiff that it didn't able to handle the bumps a little better. The shocks on the front are 10, 2, 12, and 3, and on the rear they're 9, 2, 11, and 3. Did some adjustments on those two, just a click here, click there, nothing major, but again, going off of Motec, did a couple things to help them go over the bumps a little better. Aero got 58 in the front and 65 in the rear with a 10 rear wing and a 4 and a 4 and the brake ducts. Now here, I did go up 1 on the right in the front and I think 1 or 2 in the rear. So that is what I changed. Now this is what I had. See, this is what I did with the fuel load test. You know how you can adjust it. Well, what I did is I went up to 44. I went up to 44 liters, and that's what I did that last test in. And that's like I said, I did that to simulate a pit stop, because that's the fuel you'll have, something like that. And of course, see, we just went up to 66. So it doesn't go up. It'll go up 1 when you go down. This will go up 1 in the front, and the rear will go up 2. That's what will change when you go from 80 or 85 all the way down to, let's say, 5 liters the last lap or 2. So, but I wanted to do this, and you can see it went up to 66. So this went up just 1 click. It went up 1, but it didn't make a difference. The car still felt fine, rotated good, no issues. So you see. Just basically that fast right-hander, the going down to the back straightaway, you just basically want to, where that drive is on the left is where you want to basically, hit the brakes, downshift, and let it go in. Don't drive it into the turn and try to trail brake going in there. You do not need to do that with this car. It's got plenty of rotation, even with the 10 rear wing and everything like that. So you basically, when you go by that drive, you can go back and look at the replay. You go by that drive, just hit the brakes, downshift, and then go through that turn and get on the gas as soon as you can, so you can get the drive going down the straightaway. I did run less wing, one click less wing, and a little bit different balance, and the speed was exactly the same down that back straightaway. Since it's not that high, it's only like 144 either way. So it didn't make any bit of difference. You'd have to drop a whole bunch of wing, and it's just not worth it. Not to me anyway. I want something that I can try to stay halfway consistent, and really attack and push the braking zones and things like that. So again, I really think this is a great package, really solid for a race package, and I sure hope you enjoy it. I hope it works good for you, especially with the Lamborghini, since a lot of people don't race the Lamborghini. I think it's a really good, solid race package. So I sure hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's longer. Please, any comment or feedback again. I know I keep saying it. I'm sorry, but it really helps in things that I do in the future. And any comment or feedback again is always great. And I hope you like and subscribe. And, of course, both these setups will be in the description, along with a PayPal link if you want to help support the channel that way. Thank you to everybody that has. And I sure appreciate it. And I sure hope you come back and visit again soon. Y'all take care. See ya.